I'm on a time limit here, so let's do it. I'm MegamanNG and I welcome you to another Ace Attorney Anime Season 2 review. Today we talk about Episode 4, The Lost Turnabout, Third Trial. For anyone wondering why this episode is up today instead of tomorrow, let's just say I feel like it, that's all. Plus, it came out today, so why not? I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main points. Let's get started. This takes place after the events of the previous episode. Despite Nick's efforts in proving that Ron DeLite is innocent, he now has a new problem to contend with. Now Ron is being charged with the murder of Kane Bullard, so Nick, along with Maya and Pearl, have their work cut out for them. There's also the matter of the Curane urn. Can they be able to figure everything out from all this? Yes, the stolen turnabout continues and the situation is changed for the worst. We also find out how the urn is what it was. And it's not only due to Pearl Faye's actions from Justice for All, but also due to Adrian Andrews, in which, in one scene, she was holding on to the urn when suddenly she trips and the urn breaks, with some of the pieces ending up on the paint. So she had to put everything back together and fix everything to make it look like nothing had happened. But even with that, it still didn't take long for Nick and Maya to figure things out. Yes, this episode is heavy on the investigation, and boy, it's good. It really is good because it gives not only the episode a chance to breathe, but also helps set things up for the final trial that happens next week. Like the games, Pearl is determined to have Nick and Maya be in a relationship. We know why due to Curane Village having a lot of failed marriages. It's similar to as it was in Trials and Tribulations. The fact that Pearl's mother was charged last week as being an accomplice also kind of made things a lot worse for her. And to tell you the truth, I can't help but feel bad for Pearl. I really do. I know a lot of you do feel bad for her as well. And as far as the investigation go, it takes them to KB Security, and Gumshoe provides all the details, especially of the victim, Kane Bullard. And for some odd reason, Maya is being really childish. I don't know why, but she just is. We also learn that Larry was part of this since, well, he snuck out. It does beat the psyche-lock portion of the segment because in the games, Nick had to, break Larry's psyche-locks because he was hiding stuff that he didn't want to tell Nick. Eventually, the guy breaks down like a baby upon realizing that it could have all been avoided had he not left. All of it could have been avoided. We also see Ron DeLite, and yeah, it's not worse for wear either. He also provides testimony as to what happened on that day, but all it's gonna do is make things a lot more difficult. Since, yeah, even though he was not charged with stealing the Curane urn, he has to now contend with a murder charge, and that is no good. You also can't help but feel bad, because I really do feel bad for Ron DeLite, a victim of circumstance. But he does have a hot wife with Desiree, which I also feel bad for. Desiree really does care for Ron, and in the anime, we actually know why. She was actually once a bank attendant when she was nearly robbed at knife point by two douchebag robbers when suddenly out of nowhere, Ron DeLite, who was working as a security guard, came in and tried to save her. It made Desi realize how much Ron really does care, and hence the reason why Desiree has a lot of feelings for Ron. Really does. I really did like the episode and really helped set things up nicely, but considering that the ending shows not only one trial happening, but another. And I'll say it here, this episode also marks the first appearance of the judge's brother. You can actually tell the difference between their beards because the judge has white hair beard. His brother has yellow orangish hair. But yeah, I look forward to seeing him again when the moment comes, and it's nice that we actually get an appearance by him, even if it is brief. So yeah, it's a race against time, and Phoenix Wright must do everything he can to not only prove Ron DeLite innocent, but also find out who's really responsible. And speaking of which, the episode really does flow well enough. It was a pretty solid episode that has some very good pacing, but they did take liberty in changing things, such as replacing the psyche-lock segments for both Adrian Andrews and Larry Butts and make them as they are now. It does help provide things in more detail, but hey, what can you do? The episode also kind of shows who's really responsible, which the game never does, until the very end. I don't know why they did that, but that's just me. And like I said, this episode was pretty good. I give it a solid 8. My only gripe with the episode is, well, with them showing who really was responsible at the end. They could have just saved it for the next episode, and then that would have made a whole lot more sense. but I guess for the viewers, we already know who's responsible. We've already played Trials and Tribulations, and we already know that. And I still wish they would actually use Trials and Tribulations music instead of the same thing that we had last season. So yeah, my final score is an 8 out of 10. Pretty solid episode, pretty good. And I really look forward to how next week's episode will turn out. Because if things continue as they are, the episode after that will probably be Recipe for Turnabout. And oh boy, that's going to be a challenging one. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and more importantly, click on the bell. Doing all this helps me out big time. I'm also raising money for a new Mac, and if you'd like to chip in, the info's in the description below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, please don't forget to support me on Patreon if you want. All it takes is $1 a month. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. See you next week for the last trial of the Stolen Turnabout. Igi'ari!